I do.
All right. Please proceed, Mr. Crow.
Thank you very much, referee. Good morning, sir. So first of all, I'd like to touch again a bit on your current living situation, if we might. You testified at the last court appearance that you are currently, is it a townhouse that you're living in? Is it an apartment?
It's a three-bedroom townhome, yes.
Okay, three-bedroom townhouse. And you further testified that there were several children who were living in that house. Is that correct?
No, two. So
Well, there were two children, but first of all, what are the two children that you claim are living in that residence right now?
but a claim, but it's Caleb and Elijah.
Okay, and Caleb is how old?
Caleb was 14,
Okay, and Elijah is how old?
17.
All right, and how often do those children live in the residence?
Just about every day.
All right, so they live there primarily. Is that correct?
Correct.
And I think you testified earlier that, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you testified that it was a three-bedroom apartment. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. And so right now we have the 17 and we have the 14-year-old. Are they living together in the same room?
They share a room, yes.
So they share a room, the 17 and the 14-year-old. Now, you're married to the children's mother, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And does the mother have other children?
She does.
Okay. And how many children does she have other than those two?
She has three more.
Okay. And what are their names and ages?
We
You can use
have
initials.
Robbie.
I don't care. You can use initials if you want in there.
Okay, well, Robbie's 20. Jace is almost 19. And Layla is 12.
And Layla's 12. So Layla, how often is there a custody and visitation schedule for Layla right now? If you know.
There's joint custody, but she mainly stays with her dad. Her dad lives by himself, so she likes to be with him.
All right. So how often does Layla come over to the residence?
To stay or to visit?
Well, let's start with to stay.
To stay, just on occasion. It's not like every week. She stays here once in a while.
And where does all right? So first of all, is there a schedule of parenting time for Layla right now?
I'm not sure exactly what their schedule what is.
You don't know if there's an order of parenting time for Layla at all?
Well, they have joint custody. I know that, but I don't know the details on it now.
Okay. And how long have you been living with your wife in this residence for?
For 4 years, 3 or 4 years.
So you've been living with your wife for 3 or 4 years, and you don't happen to know how often or what the parenting time schedule is with this child?
Well, they used to be when they were younger, they would stay half the week and then half the week, and then as they've aged out, that it's progressed, and the older ones don't stay here anymore. The two older ones have moved out, and Layla stays mostly with her dad, and she will stay here once in a while, but they just go by, they talk to each other and they work it out.
Okay, so once in a while means what? Let's just say in the month of December and in the month of January, how many overnights has Layla had over at your residence?
Per month, probably five.
5 overnights. Okay.
Yeah.
So during the period of time in which Layla is over at your residence, where does Layla stay?
She stays in the other bedroom.
In the third bedroom. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And so does that have Layla's, does Layla consider that her bedroom at your house?
Kind of. I mean, she doesn't stay here enough to have it be her only. She knows the situation with what's going on with the children coming, so she understands that.
All right. So would it be, does Layla have like her, I mean, usually on kids' walls or 12, they have like their posters, they have their stuff, they have their items. Is the
She
room,
has some pictures up, and actually some of the pictures are of Birdie, Sailor, and Hudson. So she's
right?
excited to meet them.
Right. But so when you testified earlier that this was an empty room waiting for the children, that wasn't accurate, was it, sir?
Yes, it is. It's going to be their room.
Okay, but right now it's Layla's room, right? And Layla's going to continue to
Well, they
have.
haven't stayed here yet. They haven't stayed here. We don't have the order for that yet. So as soon as that happens, yes, we'll convert it over to their room.
So where's Layla going to stay when she comes over?
It won't be on the same nights that they stay.
Okay, but there is no set schedule for Layla, right? Is that your
No, but we
testimony?
work it out. We work it out. They talk to each other and they figure it out.
Okay, so all right. So just to be clear, right now, as we speak, of the three bedrooms, you and your you and your wife stay in one bedroom. The other two children, who are 17 and 14, they stay in a second bedroom. And this is going to be a combination bedroom that's going to be for Layla and also for, I guess, the other three children. Is that the plan? If you have
Yeah,
overnight.
we'll have bunk beds and a single bed. Yes, correct.
So you're going to have, I'm just trying to understand this. So you have, so in this room, you're going to have you're going to have the two 5-year-old twins. And how big is this room?
It's big enough.
How big is it? I'm asking from.
I don't know the square footage right now. I haven't measured it, but it's big enough for 3 beds.
All right. I mean, you don't know. You can't just give us a sort of a general the dimensions of the property at all. How big
It's a normal size room. It's not huge. It's not small. It's a normal size room.
Like, is it 5? I mean, I don't want to make too.
No, it's not 5 by something. No, it's not 5 by something.
All right. Well, do you know how it works with like about diameter and width and things like that, about how to measure? Give me general approximations about what the room is.
I don't know. 12 by 12. I don't know exactly. I'm not sure.
And so so the plan is that we're gonna have these 3 children in this room, and then Layla is not going to show up, even though we don't have a schedule. Layla's not going to be there during that period of time. So there's never going to be. So when the 3 kids are over, we're going to have 5 children in this apartment all together. Is that correct?
Correct.
All at the same time. That's the plan of action. Is that correct?
On some days, possibly, yes.
And on some days, I mean, we don't know, but if Layla does, if your wife does elect to have Layla, then we'd have 6 children there. Wouldn't that be fair to say?
Well, I just told you we worked that out where she won't stay there when they're here.
Okay.
Her dad lives 2 miles from here. It's not a big deal.
Okay. All right. But I just want to make sure that I just want to make sure, because when Julie testifies, we're going to speak to her and we're going to get the court records on this too. So I want to make sure that we understand each other. You are testifying that, is it fair to say that there is no court order right now as it relates to Layla spending a certain amount of overnights at your residence? Is that your testimony?
I'm telling you what happens. She stays about 5 nights a month. I don't know the details.
I believe his testimony was he was not sure what it was.
Yes, Your Honor.
I have not read their. I don't know their court order. I have not read it. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Okay, so understood. And so again, we have to talk about your townhouse a little bit more. We have a 3-bedroom apartment. Then is there a living room?
Yes.
Okay. Well, how about this? Why don't you just say, what are
It's
the
2 stories. It's 2 stories. The whole downstairs, the living room and a kitchen and a bathroom.
Okay.
The upstairs is the bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and a shower.
Okay. And again, can you give me kind of the square footage of this residence?
1,000 at least.
About 1,000 square feet. Okay. Okay. And during the time in which you've had parenting time, supervised parenting time at your residence, have the children ever gone upstairs in your residence?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So they've gone upstairs and they've seen and remember, we're gonna have the supervisor testify. Is it your testimony that you have let them upstairs in your house?
Correct.
So when the supervisor testifies, she's going to be able to testify that she's seen the children go upstairs. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you also testified at our last appearance regarding your specific job schedule. Okay. And where are you working presently, sir?
Creative dining at Hope College.
Okay. And what is the schedule that you're working currently at that position?
It varies.
Okay. So let's do last week. What was your schedule last week?
My schedule last week,
Mhm.
I worked almost every day, but I didn't work 8 hours every day.
So what was your schedule last week? From
Uh,
Monday to Monday, what was your schedule?
it was different every day, so I'm not sure exactly. I usually go in 9 or 10, sometimes earlier if I have a breakfast, sometimes later if I have dinners. It varies every single day. But they work with me, and they're fully on board with.
So, sir, my question is,
when I have this.
Sir, my question is, last week, in other words, 7 days ago, from Monday to Friday, which happened 3 or 4, 5, 6, or 7 days ago, what was the schedule specifically that you worked last week at your restaurant? It's a very simple question. Monday.
Well, it's not simple because my days are different every single day, so it's not as simple.
So,
I
all
work
right,
9 to 5 every day.
So let's make it very clear. On Monday, let me just go to my calendar here to make sure that I'm getting the dates right. On Monday, February 26th, what were the hours you worked?
Well, you'd have to give me a minute because I have to look at what my events were for that day. All right, so I had a dinner, so I probably worked 12 to 6, 11 to 6.
All right, so you worked 11 to 6 on the 26th. What did you work on the 27th?
I don't know. I don't want to go through every day. Typically, I work either starting at 6
Mr.
a.m.
Tenmore, we're going to go through every day.
Are we gonna? Okay.
Yeah, that's what he's asking. We're trying to get what your typical week is. We picked a week. Well, not we.
Okay.
I apologize.
It's
Mr.
it's
Mr.
different
Crow
every
picked a
week.
week, and yeah, no, we're going to get through what you did last week to get an idea of what your schedule could be.
Okay.
So yeah,
All right, so Tuesday was the same, so I had a dinner, so it was probably 11 to 5 or 6.
That's a question. This was like 6 days ago. Is it difficult for you to think back to last Tuesday and tell me?
Well, every week is different, so I didn't take note of it. I wasn't expecting
but
you
I'm
to
not,
ask that, so I didn't know.
Mr. Crow, I'll take judicial notice that I can't even remember what I did last Tuesday.
well, that may be.
I look
mean,
forward to
can you-
this
That may
week.
be you. That may be you. I'm hoping that.
Well, I don't work 9 to 5 every
day.
day, so it's different every day. So I'm sorry that I didn't remember because I look forward and not back.
Okay, so Tuesday, your testimony is that you worked 11 to 6 on the 27th. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. What hours did you work on the 28th?
On the 28th, I had a breakfast, so I went in at 6. I was probably done by 2.
Okay. And on the 29th of March.
I'm sorry, last. Oh yeah, okay.
No, I'd like you to be accurate. So if you'd like to amend your statement, please feel free to do so.
I'm fine.
Yeah, we got to remember there was a 29th to last month now for the first time in 4 years, so
Yeah.
that does change up things.
The 29th, I worked like 11 to 3. It was a shorter day because we didn't have much going on, but I had meetings.
And on March 1st?
March 1st was a Friday, so I worked 10 to 6.
Okay. And this schedule is there's some record of
It's
this.
dynamic. It's dynamic. It changes.
So this schedule, the schedule that you just testified to, I'm not talking about, the last 6 months. I'm talking about this schedule that you just testified to. Is this verifiable with your company? Would they be able to verify this information?
Well, I don't punch in, so I make my own schedule, but yeah, I could have someone talk to you if you needed to.
That won't be necessary, but I'm just asking but this is information that can be independently confirmed. Is that correct?
Oh, you'd have to, not really. I mean, that's my boss. He has me take this over. That's like my department. So he trusts me to get it done, and it's as I see fit when I need to work because we're not open this time to this time. It's events, so every day is different, and he knows that I'll take care of it. So I have a lot of freedom.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. But there is somebody who you're accountable to, I'm assuming, for the hours that you work every day, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't have to punch in. It's not like I have a time clock that I punch in
Okay. Gotcha.
because I'm salaried. They don't do that for me.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. And so what is your wife's name?
Angelica,
And how long have you been married to her for?
going in 2 years.
2 years, is that correct? And you've lived with her for 4? Is that right? 3 or 4 years? Is that right, sir? You lived with her for 3 or 4
Correct.
years?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. And I think we touched on this last time, but you do currently use marijuana, do you not?
I have, yes.
Okay, and I think again we had a lot of vague
What is the
answers.
relevance of this?
It's relevant, so I'll take that as an objection that I'm going to overrule.
And so we got a lot of sort of vague answers from you last time on this topic. So I want to kind of pin you down on this, okay, if we could. As it relates to your use of marijuana, okay, how often per week do you use marijuana, sir?
Once, twice.
Okay. Well, let's go to last week if we could, just because I think that that's perhaps helpful because we got to try to get some actual answers here if we could. So for the last 7 days, what days did you use marijuana over the last 7 days?
I don't know.
You don't
Probably.
recall in the last 7 days whether you used marijuana?
You said what days? I don't remember exactly what days. So probably when I'm off, when I don't have to work the next day. So Saturday night,
All right. So 2 days ago you used marijuana.
last week, the week before.
Okay. I so did you use marijuana on March 2nd?
No,
Okay. I don't want to have to go through every day of the calendar, sir. When was the last time that you used marijuana?
a week ago Saturday, not this last Saturday, the one
So
before.
February 25th. Is that correct?
If that's the Saturday.
Okay. So the court can take judicial notice that a week ago from Saturday was actually it was February 24th. Forgive me. I'm sorry. Looking at my calendar. February 24th. Um and when would get the week before that, how many times did you use marijuana during that week?
Probably one or two. I don't know every week. I'm sorry, I didn't keep a log of it. So
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm not asking for the moment in time. Uh, and uh, and can I ask you, sir, is there anybody in that room with you right now?
yeah, my wife's over there.
Because I keep seeing you having sort of
I
like,
have notes right here that I'm looking at, right next to me.
well, first of all, sir, you're not allowed to have notes.
I was
That
going
you're
to say,
looking
yeah,
at.
if you're utilizing notes to refresh your memory, then you need to tell us that you're well. Other
I
than
have
obviously the
I
one
have
obviously the one for looking up your work records was appropriate. We knew you were looking
right.
at them then. You have to tell us. Someone else can be in the
This
room,
isn't
but
for
you
this.
can't. Someone else can be in the room just as they can be in the courtroom, but you're not allowed to get direction from that person. So if you're getting direction from that person, I'm going to have a problem with that.
I'm not. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm
All right,
Okay.
Mr.
No,
Clerk,
that's
continue,
fine.
please.
I just want to, okay. So, okay. So again, just trying to get, so you said the last time you smoked marijuana was a week ago, February 25th. Okay. The last time before that, when was the last time you smoked marijuana?
I don't know the date.
Okay. Uh, I, I'm just trying to get a sense here, sir, of how often you smoke
Four times
marijuana.
a month. We'll just say 4 times a month. I think it's fair. I don't know exactly what day every time. Like I don't have it written down, so I don't know.
All right. And when was the last time that you had supervised visitation with the kids?
We could go Sunday.
A week ago Sunday. Okay. So fair to say that you used marijuana on the Saturday and then the next day you had parenting time with the kids. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure that that timeline is accurate. Okay. And you don't remember the last time before that you used marijuana. Is that your testimony?
At the specific date. No. The
That's
specific date.
okay. All right. And just want to kind of go through a few other things as it relates to your involvement with the children, if I might. So as it relates to the time previous to the supervised visitation schedule, I think we agreed at the last court appearance that you had virtually no involvement for about 18 months, and that there's different discussions of it, but you testified that you had little to no involvement for the 18 months before the prosecutor's office filed this application. Is that fair to say?
There was about a year. Yes.
About a year. All right. So you say a year, maybe it's 18 months. We have different versions of that, but we can at least agree that it was a year that you had no involvement with the children's lives until the prosecutor filed the application. Is that right?
Correct.
Correct. Okay. And then during that period of time, just want to be clear here, and even quite frankly, before that time, you didn't have any really involvement in any of the children's activities, did you?
Well, I've asked for Brittany to give me the activity schedule, and she refuses to. Just a week or two ago, I asked her what her activity schedule was, and she told me that I can't contact her and that I can only contact you.
All right, so I'm going to just see if you can answer my question, if you might, which is that my question was during that period of time before the schedule, the order was, excuse me, that we had a case before the court that the prosecutor brought, and that even before the year in which you had no contact with the children, were you involved in any of their activities?
No.
No, correct. And it's fair to say that during that period of time, they didn't get kids never got a card, a gift, anything from you.
We celebrated their birthdays and Christmases together at her house. Yes, we did.
Okay. But did the kids ever get a card or a gift during let's say
we did the gifts together at their house. I didn't send them to her because we did the party at their house.
So they're recording they're recording this discussion. So I ask the question, then you answer. You don't interrupt me until I'm finishing my question. Okay, that's just how it works. Okay. And so during the 18 months, did you ever send the children a gift or a card at all during the 18 months previous to the prosecutor's office bringing this application?
I did not send them, no.
Okay, thank you. So during the parenting time that you've been having with Julie, and you testified at our last court appearance that there were no text message, or excuse me, that you did not engage in text messages or communication with Ms. Venhor outside of normal.
That's not her name. You're combining my name with her name.
Am I?
Her name is Gansey, not Venhor. My name is Venhor.
That's a good point. Sorry about that. Hey, when you're right, you're right. I'm sorry about that. That during I'll just call her the supervisor for the moment. That during that you did not have any communications with the supervisor outside of scheduling. Is that still your testimony, sir?
No, I said there was scheduling and billing that we talked about.
Scheduling and billing. Okay. And you were 100%. You paid for all of the billing for the supervisor. Is that correct?
For Brittany's intake.
And so there were no other communication. And again, not to put too fine a point on it, I just want to hold you to this answer, just so I know it, that there were no other text message communications regarding any other topic with the supervisor other than billing and scheduling. So no text messages, no emails, no communication with her other than those two topics. Is that correct?
Well, I told her about this hearing. That was a separate topic, I guess.
Okay. So
I gave her the Zoom info. So yes, I contact her, but it's always professional matter.
Other than those three things, you've had no other communication with her. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, thank you. And let's talk about during the supervised visitation that has been taking place. What has been the supervisor's role in the parenting time, in your opinion?
Well, she was the facilitator in the beginning. She's there to watch and make sure that everything goes correctly. They're here to make sure that our house is in a good and safe order for them. She interacts with them a little bit because, well, we've had 27 visits now, so the kids know her. So they talk to her. They think of her as, just someone that's going to be here, so they don't think that that's weird. But she's a supervisor. She's there to watch.
Okay. So is your position that her role is to watch and report regarding your interaction with the children? Is that your understanding of what her role is?
Yes.
Okay. But that's not really what's been happening during these visits, is it, sir?
Yeah, it is.
So isn't it fair to say that it is actually the supervisor who is spending the most time with these children at playing?
Not even a little bit.
No, please, you have to just let me finish my question, please. Isn't it fair to say, sir, that it's actually the supervisor is the one who is actively interacting and parenting these children during the supervised parenting time?
No.
Isn't it a fact that it is her who is playing games with the children and entertaining the children while during that parenting time?
No.
Okay, so let's be clear. So
she has interacted with them, but she is not the one. She's not the majority. She's not the one that's only playing games with her. We played Monopoly for 3 weeks, and she sat on the couch while we watched. She like cheered Hudson like, "Oh, good job," stuff like that. But she's not the one playing. I am.
Okay, but I think you just testified a moment ago that she has been playing games with the children. Is that correct?
Well, she's interacted with them.
Interacted with them. In addition to that, she has she helped the children when they were having tantrums while they were in your care?
Yeah, yeah.
She
Yes.
has. Okay. What was your role during that? If she's taking care of the children having tantrums
She's
during,
not taking care of the children.
well, again, you just have to let me finish my question, sir. If she is taking care of the, you can disagree with my premise. I'm just going to ask you the question, then you can answer it, sir. If she is the one taking care of the children during this time, then what is your role during this parenting time?
I'm taking care of the children, not her.
Okay. So when they become sort of dysregulated, when they're upset with the situation, it is your testimony that you're the one who has been addressing it, and you're the one who has been actively involved in the children's rearage during this period.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. In addition to that, so you said that the supervisor would play games with the children at the last quarter period. At the last time,
Oh, I
yes,
didn't say that.
you did testify a moment ago that she would play games with the children,
So
sir.
they interact.
No, you said that she would play games with the children, sir. Is that now not true? You want to change your Are you changing your testimony?
Interaction. She interacts with them. I play the games with them.
But you did testify just a moment ago, and I think the court can take judicial notice of what you
I was gonna say Mr. Tenhor, you did say that she plays games with the kids too. It's kind of the statement was made in such a way that I think she's playing the games with all of you, but that's kind of the gist of what I heard in the testimony. But
You
did say that.
She interacts with them. Like when we're playing games, she's 2 feet away. So she interacts with them. She'll cheer them on. It's not inappropriate. I'm taking care of them. I'm involved with them.
Okay. Well, I mean, so when you say whether or not it's appropriate or inappropriate, you don't really have any experience in the proper ways a supervisor should interact during a supervised setting. You don't know anything about that, do you?
I'm not an expert in that. I'm sorry.
Correct. Okay. And in addition to that, during these visits, and at the last visit, isn't it true that your daughters were filing the supervisor's nails at the last visit?
Yeah.
Okay. So the two children were actually sort of
One was filing my nail.
okay. Okay, and so they were grooming the supervisor's nails during the supervised parenting time.
For a couple of minutes, yes.
Okay. It sounds like the supervisor is really kind of involved during these sessions. Do you feel that that's not an accurate statement?
She's involved, yes.
Yeah, I mean, like moment to moment.
No, I wouldn't say
No,
that.
but I think even your testimony just a moment ago was that she was like 2 feet away from you while you guys were playing games. She's having her nails filed by the children. She's really an integral part of this process, is she not?
Well, our living room's a little bit narrow, so when you're sitting on the couch and we're playing a game on the floor, you're going to be a couple feet away because that's where the open spot was.
And you have a pretty close relationship with the supervisor at this point, don't you?
No,
And so when she shows up early and early to these visitations, and you guys spend time together. Is that correct?
she comes about 3 minutes early, and I
Okay.
pay her.
Okay, and you and her have had quite a few private conversations and quite a few interactions before my client even shows up. Is that fair to say?
No,
Okay.
we're sitting there waiting for her. That's what we do.
Okay.
It's only a couple minutes.
Okay. Would you say that that your conversations you've had with her were professional, or would you say that they're friendly and cordial?
When she gets there,
Yeah.
well, our typical situation or conversation is she'll come in, she'll say, "Hi, how you doing?" I'll say, "Hi, how are you doing?" And then I'll pay her, and then it'll be like, "Oh, nice weather," or "Yeah, the lines are doing good," or something like that. It's nothing.
Okay.
So I would say friendly.
Okay. And And other than this supervised visitation that you've had, do you feel as if you are capable of handling? I mean, well, let me say it this way: there has never been a situation at this point where you have been even during the, and I think you testified just at our last hearing about this. Even before the prosecutor brought this application and we're before the court, there has never been a single moment in which you have had unsupervised time with these children. Isn't that accurate?
No, it's not accurate. When Brittany would go grocery shopping, I would be with them.
Okay, and that was how many years ago now?
Several.
Well, how many years ago was it? I mean, we don't have, not every answer has to be vague, sir. What is several years ago? When was the last time you had any unsupervised time with these kids?
4 years.
4 years. Okay. And during that time, did you have all 3 children with you, or was it just less than that?
It was the twins.
Okay, but so I guess my original question was, has there ever been a time in which you had the 3 children that you were taking care of them in an unsupervised setting ever?
No.
Okay. In fact, during the course of this case, you've been asking for your wife to be present as well during the supervised visitation, have you not?
She will be present. Yeah.
But you've been asking for that, right? You've been really trying to push that, haven't you?
Yes, I would like them to know her. So they would have to meet her to get to know her. So yes, I would like her present.
Okay, but this has become a very big issue in your discussions with my client, has it not, during the supervised visitation, that your wife must be there as well. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, I want her there. Yes.
In fact, you have threatened to cancel some of the visitations if your wife wasn't there. Isn't that right?
No.
And isn't it a fact that you wouldn't schedule it because there was a disagreement between you and my client regarding whether your wife would be there?
No, Brittany didn't want to schedule it where she was there.
So
I simply asked for her to be here there. I wanted her there.
So I guess my question is that you testified just a moment ago that we have that when the supervisor is present during the parenting time about her involvement with the children. You testified just a moment ago that you want your wife to be present during the visitation. Is there ever going to be a time where you want to just parent these children on your own without there being a third party present?
Yes, I do. But I also want my wife there too. At times, they need to meet her. It's not about her taking care of them. It's about her building a relationship with them. So you're twisting what it's about.
Can I ask you a question? Why is it you haven't seen these kids by your own testimony? You say a year. Other reports are 18 months. We've had discussions about how even before this time, you rarely saw the children to begin with. Why is it so important?
Sure, we had 68 minutes.
Just wait for the end of my question, please. Why is it so important for your wife to be involved when you've never been involved? Isn't it more important for you to be involved first before we introduce third parties to your kids?
Okay, well, we've had 27 visits of these supervised visits, so we've had a lot of visits. So yes, I would like the children to meet my family. Yes, I would like them to meet them.
Okay.
It's not about her taking care of them. It's about it's about the kids meeting my family and having a relationship with them.
Okay. But
it's not about caregiving.
Would it be fair to say that perhaps it's more important for you to establish that relationship first before we introduce all these third parties to the children's lives?
I have. We've had 68 visits before that, and we have 27 sons.
So
we've had a lot of visits.
This is your 68 visits that you're claiming. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And so the 68 visits and then the year or 18 months in which you've had no involvement with the children, right?
Well, we've got 27 sons.
20. Oh,
27 visits. We've had 27 scheduled visits or supervised visits.
And these are the 27 scheduled visits in which there was a supervisor present, and the 27 visits, and now you want to have your wife come and be present as well.
Well, a supervisor was required, so that wasn't a choice.
Please just let me finish my question. So that these are the same visits in which we've had either the supervisor who it's sort of intently involved during the visits, and now you want your wife to be present. I think you also want your in-laws to be there as well. Is that correct?
My in-laws, no, they're around. They live close. I didn't say they need to be here.
Okay. All right. You're bringing this application, right, because you want to see the children, not because your wife does, right?
Correct.
Or when I say bringing the application, I mean, we're here at this hearing because
I
of that.
understand what you mean.
Not that you actually brought the application, which you didn't, but
Okay.
that is why we are here today. And in fact, during the FOC hearing that you had in this case, when you met with a friend of the court, you indicated that you wanted your in-laws to assist as well in helping with the children. Did you not?
No, I said they'd be available to help if we needed it.
And you also testified,
I didn't require them.
and you also testified, isn't it accurate that you made the assertion that you will never be alone with the children?
No, I said I'll always have help if I need it. I didn't say
Okay,
I'll never be alone. I said I'll have help if I need it. It's
But-
available.
but in fact, your testimony was, I will never be alone with the kids.
Okay, well, Brittany has her parents' help too. So
You just need to answer my question. So isn't it a fact that you said to the FOC referee or the FOC worker that you will never be alone with the children? Did you not say that?
well, my wife will be here. Yes, she wants to be there too. So we won't be alone. It's not that I have to be alone. Don't have to be alone. It's that I won't.
Gotcha. I think.
But I'll have help. You guys were concerned about having 3 children, and I said that I'll have assistance. I'll have help. So that's not an issue.
Okay, because you do need help, do you not, with taking care of the children?
No.
You don't, but it seems to me that at every opportunity, you're indicating that you need your wife there, you need the
No, I
in-law
don't need them.
there.
I said they will be. They're available. I didn't say I need them.
And is that because it's fairly difficult to parent 3 children that you don't really know very well by yourself? Isn't that a fact?
I know them. I know them well.
You know them well?
Yes.
Okay, so you know them well after, I think you said that you've had over 20 sessions of 1 hour parenting time. You feel that you know these children very well?
Yeah, I lived with them for years too.
You live with them for years,
With Hudson, yeah.
but not with all 3 children, right? And that was a long time ago, was it not?
Mhm.
Gotcha. When you said that means yes, there's a
I was going
recording.
to say
Yes,
yes or no, Mr. Tedder.
yes.
Thank you.
Just one moment, Your Honor. Fair to say that you and my client do not have a particularly good relationship at this point?
Yes.
Okay. That you guys, as of late, it's my understanding you guys have not been able to even agree on times in which the parenting time is going to take place, and that you guys can't even come to a meeting of the minds on that topic. Is that fair to say?
It's fair to say.
And that it's fair to say that you guys, you disagree whether it's going to be an hour session or going to be a 2-hour session. You guys just do not work together well. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say.
Okay. Now, as it relates to, now I'm going to ask you a few comparison questions just to get your understanding. Right now, between you and the mother, and I'm talking about right now, as we sit here today, would it be fair to say that the children are bonded more with my client than with you?
That would be hearsay. I don't know. I can't speak for them.
No, I'm just asking your opinion.
They're with her more, so yes, I would say that.
Okay. And it's fair to say that it's my client who takes care of the daily needs of the children every day. Isn't that right? When
Right.
you're not with the kid, obviously the children are with my
It's hard
client.
to make them breakfast from here.
So it's my client. I didn't hear your answer, sir. I'm sorry.
I said it'd be hard to make them breakfast from 50 miles away.
So the answer would be yes to that question, correct? That
Yes.
that my client takes care of all the daily needs of the children, and that my client is the party that's responsible for ensuring the guidance and the education and the raising of the children outside of the current parenting time order. Isn't that fair to say?
Yes.
And I'll cut to the chase a little on this issue, which is say you heard my client testify during her direct, in which she went through everything that she did with the children, her relationship with the children. Is there of all the things that she was saying and taking care of the children? My client would it be fair to say that my client does a very good job taking care of the children's needs?
Except for when it comes to having a relationship with me, because she blocks that at every moment. So other than that, I would say yes, but that's a pretty big fault.
Okay, hold on. Let's unpack that for a moment if we could. So first of all, other than allowing you to have, as
She has
relates,
blocked every afternoon.
as it relates to her testimony, is there anything that my client testified to, not regarding you, but as it relates to her care of the children, the day-to-day, her involvement in the education, the religion, the rearing, the ensuring that the children are taken care of. Is there anything that my client testified to regarding her relationship with the children that you disagree or think is not true?
No.
Okay. As it relates to your biggest fault, as you indicate, is that that she does not do a good job ensuring that you have a relationship with these kids. That's her biggest fault, you think, as a mother. Is that correct?
Yes.
And this is despite the fact that it was you who chose to have no involvement in the children's lives for a year or 18 months, however you want to describe it, consistently. You're the one, to be clear, you made that choice, did you not?
That was during the court proceedings, and it's taken that long.
No, I'm saying before the court proceedings, when you've already testified to the fact that you said it's a year. My client testified that it was more like 18 months, but that in that year, if I may just wait for the end of my question, please, that in that year, you had no involvement in the children's lives. So that wasn't my client doing that to you, was it? That was you doing that to you.
That was during this court proceedings, and that's why it's taken that long. It wasn't before the court. That's when all this started. That's when the legal proceedings started.
Okay, but I mean, my client allowed you to come see the kids. It was your testimony just a moment ago that you claimed that there were these 68 visits that have happened throughout the entire lives of the children. That was my client allowing you to see the kids during those quote unquote 68 visits, correct?
Correct.
It's your own testimony. Okay, that you said that there were 68 times. And during this time, if you felt that my client was not allowing you to have appropriate access, you could have filed a motion at any time, couldn't you?
That's why we're doing this, because
so just answer my question. Excuse me, sir. Please answer my question. And my question is, during those period of time, those years in which you were claiming that my client did not allow you to have a relationship with the children, you had every opportunity to file a motion with the court asking for parenting time if you were not happy with the amount of time that you got from my client. Isn't that accurate?
Right, that's what we're doing now.
Is that accurate?
Yes, because that's why we're doing. That's why we're
You
here.
didn't bring, but here's the thing: you didn't bring this application, sir. And the court
because I wanted time outside of her house.
Please allow me to finish my question. You didn't bring this application. In fact, the court made judicial notice of that at our last court appearance. That it wasn't you who brought this application; it was the prosecutor's office who brought this application.
I told you that.
All right, let him finish. Don't talk over. Thank you.
And so it was not you who suddenly decided to bring this application. It was the prosecutor's office who did it, in which our case is terminating at this point because of that. So it's not as if you ever took the initiative to do that. Isn't it fair to say?
No, that's not fair to say.
I think the horse is dead, Mr. Crow.
Sir?
I think the horse is dead. You can quit beating it.
Okay, gotcha, sir.
I mean, this is what, the 8th time that we've gone over this? I know okay. It's one of your biggest things.
There to be clarity on the point. Okay.
Yes, I understand that. But I'm like, I only needed to hear it the 4 times. The other 4 or 5 times.
I will move, Judge. I will move.
Thank you.
All right. Just one moment, Your Honor. I'm going to confer with my client.
Certainly.
I have nothing further for this witness. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have any other witnesses, Mr. Crow?
I
think we rested. I was going to ask both of either. Yeah. So.
I don't have any further witnesses, Your Honor.
And I realize that Mr. Tenhor did not supply a witness list, so
right.
We will be calling the counselor. So let's go ahead and I guess we'll recess at this.